Okay, hi everyone. Here's a very quick video on how to do mean, median and mode. Okay, pretty simple once you know it. You just have to know it. You just have to know all the steps involved in mean, median and mode, and you just have to remember what they all mean. Okay, so first of all, you're going to start off with a string of numbers. These numbers could be any number, could be 100 numbers, could be 5 numbers. I've started with 10 numbers. You'll notice they're in the wrong order, and the first thing we always need to do when working with mean and median and mode is put them in the correct order, which is smallest to largest. So I'll start with my smallest, which I know is 2. And my next is 4. I've got a couple of 4s. Then I've got my 5s. 3 5s. Then I've got my 6. I've got 2 7s. And then I've got my 9. So always put them in smallest to largest order to make it much easier for you and also make everything correct. Okay, so that's our string of numbers. The first of all we're going to do is do the mean, which means the average. Now the mean, funnily enough, is actually the meanest one. It's slightly harder than the others, but it's not that hard. It is working out the average, and to work out the average, what you need to do is add all of the numbers together and then divide it by how many numbers there are. So first of all, we're going to add the numbers. Now, you could do this in a column addition if you wanted to, but because it's only single digit numbers for this one, I'm going to do it in my head, and I think you will be able to do that as well. So 9 plus 7 is 16. Add another 7 is 23. Add the 6, 29. Add the 5, 34. Add a 5, 39. Add the 5 again, 44. Add the 4, 48. Add another 4, 52. And add the 2 is 54. So, I'll write myself a quick note. All numbers 54. That's the total of all these numbers. Now, I now need to work out the amount of numbers we have. How many numbers do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10. Now what we need to do is divide that number by that number. So we place our 10 outside the bus stop, place the 54 inside. Now we know 10 can't go into 5, so it's 50. Then we simply do how many 10s go into 54. We know it's going to be 5, and how many are left over? There's 4. Now I've gone the really hard way around that, haven't I? All you had to do there was move the place value. When we're dividing by 10, what we need to do with the numbers is move them one place to the right. So it will become, that's our tens, that's our units, put our 5 here, decimal place, and our 4. There we go, easy as. So our mean is 5.4, that's the average. So I can go back to the first page and write that mean equals the average. And that's how you work out the mean. Okay, so for the median, this is super easy. Median means the middle number. So all you have to do is work out the exact middle of these. So this is something I learned at school. This is how I learned how to do it. Start the first one, cross it off. Then go to the last and cross it off. So you've crossed off 1 on either side. You've crossed off 1 on this side and you crossed off 1 on this side. Then you do the same again. Cross the 4 and I cross that 7 out. And I keep going until I can't cross any more out. Now, because this is an even number, we have 2 left in the middle. We can't be left with none, so we have to leave both of them. Now, we now have to work out what is directly in the middle of 5 and 5. What's in the middle of 5 and 5? Well, it's 5. So we know the median equals 5. Now, if this was a slightly different problem, let's say we had an odd number of numbers. Let's say we had 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. That's an odd amount, I believe. Let's add 2 more in there. And let's start crossing it off. So we've got 4, and then I've got a 10, then I've got 4 on my 9, 5 on my 7, and we're left with 6 in the middle. Now that would be the median if we had an odd number. Now, if we had this, but it was slightly different numbers, let's see. Let's add, let's add 2, our 4, our 5, our 6s, our 7s, and our 9. And let's cross them off again. 2 and 9, 4 and 7, 5 and 6 we're left with. We now need to work out what is in the middle of 5 and 6. So in the middle of 5 and 6, best thing to do really is add them both together and divide them by 2, or halve them. So 5 plus 6 we know is 11. Now what we need to do is work out what is half of 11. Well, we know half of 10 is 5, and half of 1 is 0.5. So the median for this one will be 5.5, because that is directly in the middle of 5 and 6. Be just here, wouldn't it? So that will be the median for that one. But it's not that, this isn't the one we're working with. The median for this is directly in the middle of 5 and 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. Halve it is still 5. So we know the median equals 5. So, like I said, the median is the middle number. Okay, now we can move on to the mode, which is also super easy. The mode means the most common. The most common number. So, the most common out of these, how many times does 2 come up? 2 comes up once. How many times does 4 come up? 4 comes up twice. How many times does 5 come up? 3 times. What about 6? Just the once. 7th, twice. And 9's just the once. So, looking here, which is the most common number? It's got to be 5, because 5 comes up 3 times. So, on this one, the mode would be 5. Okay, so that's a really quick overview on how to do mean, median, and mode. So always remember that the mean is the average, the median is the middle number, and the mode is the most common number on there. Okay.